Hi there guys, and welcome to another video. I got here 2 free PCs today, plus a monitor, and I'm going to show you what they are. As you can see, I already took them apart. They do work both, but I want to show you this one first. This is, this construction. This case is, I think, the worst possible engineered case in the whole computer industry, apart from maybe the new Mac Pro. But I'm gonna turn on the light and then I'm gonna show you what I mean. Well, first of all, it's nothing with accessing fast. You first have to kinda have a key. I mean, that's kind of fancy. I didn't have the keys. I had to break in here, and as you can see, here's the lock, and then you have to unlock, and then you have to pull this whole assembly back. It's sitting on here like this, and you pull it back. That required a lot of force, meaning I had to put my foot against the PC and pull it, and then it finally released. So yeah. Then, oh no, continues. You still cannot get into your hardware. Then you have both panels screwed in here like a regular PC on the side. Now in order to get them off, you have to kind of unlatch them here, and then you can pull them off. So then you're finally inside of your goddamn PC. For some reason, the optical drives are beneath the floppy drive. Kind of fancy. I mean, I don't see a problem with that, but it's kind of weird, as you can see. And now let's say you want to upgrade your RAM. Well, there is quite a bit of stuff in the way, meaning everything. Here you have your power supply, which is in the middle like of the most crucial components of your computer. And beneath there, where the optical drive, and beneath the power supply, which does put out quite a bit of heat, beneath there, where the cooling fan is, there is the processor fan and heatsink. So the hot air from the processor gets sucked into the power supply and pushed at the back. Well, that power supply is still working for some reason, but yeah, this has never been cooled like from the first day it has been booted. We continue with the wiring. I mean, they tried to do some cable management, but I'm gonna say that it actually looks worse than what I would do. There is, I mean, it doesn't even look good, but if you wanna like reuse another Molex, you have to first undo this zip tie, and then you have all the cables. They could have maybe just like zipped them together a little further back, so all the cables would be still organized, but you could actually use the Molex without having to release them all. But at least they have this Molex to graphics card fan adapter, which features another Molex. So I guess they explained that with this. And this fan is also powered by a Molex adapter. And here's the hard drive and the optical drives. I mean, these are mounted kind of normally, I would say. But yeah, get the idea, this is not engineered well. And here we have, by the way, this lonely fan, which should be an intake fan, I suppose, that blows just air like here, because there's no way this little fan can like get enough airflow going that the processor can be cooled. And even if it could, there's still it still would need to be sucked off by the power supply fan because there's no opening right there. As you can see, there's everything is like closed except this one little exhaust fan. So, and that is, by the way, the power supply fan. So it's not really an exhaust fan, but it kind of acts like that. So they had, whether they have a really, really, really good quality power supply or they have engineered it this way, but it doesn't really look like it. So again, this is the most horrible case designed ever. Because if you want to upgrade your CPU, you have to remove the goddamn power supply to get there. I mean, that's ridiculous. They could be from Apple. This is really, really funny. And the other PC I have here, and by the way, I didn't even know the brand of it. It doesn't say it anywhere. And when I boot it up, it shows a weird picture. I'm gonna show you that later, of course. The other PC here is organized quite normally, and that is how it should be. Power supply here, nice access to the motherboard and RAM, graphics card trays. I mean, it doesn't have an exhaust fan, or an intake fan, but it does have a normal PC layout, and it has little cooling vents at least, so the air can escape. But yeah, I don't know what the guys thought here. So let's boot it up. So let's boot up the PC of unknown make. And by the way, it doesn't even have more than 2 USB ports. These are 1.1. But they do have here a upgraded USB card. I don't know if they're USB 2, but then at least that. So let's boot it up. And I mean, as expected, from a design like that, the computer is very loud. And it shows this kind of weird metal here when booting up. There you can see. God, this is so loud. And I think a cable is hitting the fan somewhere. Because or something is hitting the fan because it makes this awful noise. Now it stopped. Hopefully it didn't like stop the fan. It boots up Windows XP Professional, and to some of you Windows XP guys like me, you know that this has to be Service Pack 0 because no other version of Windows XP showed the Professional in the boot screen. So I cleaned this out pretty good. It took more than 10 minutes to start up, had some viruses and stuff on it, but now it's clean again. And let's look what this powerhouse has to offer us. Oh, that's the wrong keyboard. Sorry. Here we have. This is so loud, incredible. Which fan is actually making more noise? This one? Oh, I can't even stop that. I'm gonna stick my finger in there, it's gonna probably be cut off. I guess it's a CPU fan. That needs to work hard for its money. Okay, let me get a chair. Here we have a nice Windows XP installation without a lot of crap. I still have some programs left to delete, but most of the stuff is gone. Like all the toolbars and crap like that. Yeah. We have CPU ID, CPU Z starting up. And yes, look at that powerhouse. I mean, I won't complain because it's free. We have an AMD Athlon. Codename Thunderbird. Doesn't say me anything. Socket A. Well, okay. And with a clock speed of 1.2 gigahertz. So I think this is a competitor with Pentium 3, something like that. I would suppose, I'm not sure, but we'll find out. We'll do a little benchmark. We have whopping 320 megabytes of RAM, which for some reason runs okay. we have Windows XP running. Okay, could be that it runs without a service pack. It could really be, but yeah, SDRAM and the amazing graphics card. The 3D. Let's even say more information here. The 3D interactive incorporated Banshee with 16 megs of RAM, so we can play some hardcore 4K on this easily. I would really be curious if this system can run Half-Life 2 Deathmatch, because that's kind of my benchmarking game. It does run very well on a lot of systems, but maybe with like very low settings and some tweaks here and there, it could do it. But I think I will have to upgrade the hard drive of this, because if you look at there, the game is probably, it's gonna fit there, but yeah, no, not really. We have 328 megs of RAM free, max of space free. That's as much as RAM it has. And an amazing 12 gigabyte hard drive. I mean, from the specs like this, I really do think it's built like in the early 2000s, maybe late 90s, something like this. But the fact that it does run Windows XP, I mean, I don't even know if it has been installed like afterwards, but you know, Windows XP, maybe early 2000s, something like this, but not really very new, as you can see. And by then, most people have figured out that, yeah, case designs like this should never exist. So, I mean, at least it's built pretty tough. I mean, this is all metal, but still, it's not even that ugly. It's just bad engineered. I mean, yeah. So this is the PC number 1. I don't know what brand this is or nothing. All I know, it has an old Athlon and a weird graphics card and runs Windows XP and runs fine with this Hyundai monitor. Didn't know that Hyundai makes monitors as well. So yeah, CRT monitor. I think it can do a resolution of, what can it do, maximum 1280 by 1024, but it's not really great to use it at that resolution. Okay, so apparently this computer does run some cracked version of Windows 7. Didn't expect this to run Windows 7. And I also just figured out that it has a 500 gigabyte SATA hard drive. So this part is definitely something I can use. And also, the graphics card of it is a Radeon 9600 Pro, which is not too bad. Running at, I think, with 256 megs of RAM. But it does not have a driver installed. So I guess the previous owner wasn't really too smart, because he also had the taskbar like zoomed up all the way like this. I mean, I don't know how productive that is, but yeah. Oops, close the window. All I want to install is CPU-Z, because we want to know what's in there. And for some reason the monitor, I know, I'm sorry, but it on Windows 7 here it freaks out a bit on camera, but in person it looks okay. So I don't know what's the deal here. So I figured out that it has an AMD again. People like to throw them away here, I guess. And that it has the 500 gig hard drive. So here you have the processor for all you AMD guys. I mean, I'm not complaining. I do have a couple of AMDs by now. I have a 6-core FX here. I have a old Athlon here. And now I have 2 more here. And there's even another one right there in that rusty case. So it's not too bad. But here we have a Sempron 3300. How do you always say that? 3100, I guess. Yeah, or 3100 plus. Socket 754. So I think you can compare that with a Pentium 4, something like this. It has 1.8 gigahertz clock speed, goodness. Proprietary mainboard, of course, as always, because it would be too fun to do something with the clock speeds. And only 1 gigabyte of RAM, and this guy jammed Windows 7 Ultimate on there. So it does run okay, but not that you want to use it like with anything, because if you do, it's gonna get stuck. So here you have the standard VGA graphics adapter, by power color. It recognizes that at least. But as I said, a Radeon 9600 Pro. And yeah, that's all to show you actually, because there's nothing on there except experience. I don't know what that is. I guess it's user password. Ooh. The installation of Windows does not require any user password, and you're logged in as administrator. Okay. Well, doesn't look too legitimate if you ask me, but then again, I don't complain because I got it for free, and I mean, it does work. It's just that it only has a gigabyte of RAM. It makes it not very usable on Windows 7. So this guy gave up pretty easily, since there seems to be nothing done except that experience folder and that enable quick launch, whatever that is, probably a virus. So yeah, these are my 2 free PCs. This one is made by Mercury, so it does look pretty nice, I would say, and it's not like one of these old ass looking beige cases. It has these nice blue accents, and I actually do like this case because it's well, not a full-size tower, but just a normal tower, and you can work in it very nicely. So I might as well swap out the components in here for my Pentium 4, because the Pentium 4 is like my main Windows XP machine, and it's getting a little cramped in there. But in here, in this case, it could be. It has quite a lot of spaces. A lot of space. And it has a SATA hard drive. I don't think that's original. This has been upgraded, because this is way too old to have SATA hard drives. So, and it's actually not that loud as well. So here we have my 2 free AMD PCs. Before you ask, yes, I cleaned them out pretty good before I took them upstairs here. That's why they're actually apart. All the doors are here. And yeah, gave them a little clean so that they don't mess up my room. So, free monitor, free PCs is always good. Not sure what to do with this Hyundai monitor though. It's a CRT, it's huge, and unfortunately it's not one of these I actually would always wanted to have, like the Sony Trinitron, the flat CRT like the eMac has. I kind of dig these, but this is just a regular old bulky, ugly Hyundai monitor. Maybe I'll just keep it because it is a car brand, and who can say I have a Hyundai monitor? I mean, it's not a very fast monitor, but yeah. Maybe Ferrari makes monitors too. Anyway, thank you for watching. I think it's kind of cool to have old systems like these, because there's so many YouTube videos about just very fast computers all the time on the internet, and how you can make them faster, and everything's a gaming PC and stuff. I mean, yeah. It's kind of cool to have old retro systems. Or old piece of shit systems. You can decide.